I did the last take.
Oh,
It's your turn.
you just want to clap.
Yeah.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh.
Welcome to the Witching Hour.
Oh my God.
That was perfect timing.
That was great.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Moon.
We missed a moon.
Mr. Moon.
Mr. Moon. Mrs. Moon.
It is. I think it's a Mrs. Moon tonight because it's a pink full moon, super moon,
Strawberry moon.
which we just prepared earlier.
The moon tends to be a Mrs. Moon.
I think it's always a Mrs. Moon.
It's a feminine energy. A strong feminine
There's
energy.
a little man face in there.
Yeah, a little man face. But I think there's a prevailing
It's a mother moon.
mother moon. I think that's the
I think
the
she's
direction
just
of the
very
energy.
well balanced with her masculine, feminine energies.
Yeah,
as a
I
whole.
think she's figured some stuff out
I think
pretty
she
well.
has as well.
Anyway,
So we missed the last full moon,
we missed Mr. Moon.
the witching hour on the last full moon.
Yeah.
There was a bit going on
Yeah.
in the realm.
Is there a bit going on? There's a bit going on. There's a bit going on?
Definitely.
There's definitely a bit going on, eh? There's a bit going on.
Yeah. Just,
Y'all had a bit going on.
Yep.
We've had a bit going on.
But this moon is good
Mrs. Moon.
to put your wishes out. So it's usually good for releasing. This is more for this is a good moon. This
Good
is
moon.
A good energy,
Good energy. Happy moon.
good fortune, putting wishes out, manifesting,
Mm-hmm.
just putting it all out there and not getting too, bogged down in it.
No. Keeping it up.
Keeping it up here.
Keeping it up there.
And also perfect for readings.
Oh, yes. Tarot,
So
oracle, stones,
I think we're
flowers.
What?
What have you got?
What do we? What?
What do you mean? What?
Stones and flowers.
Read some stones?
The runes.
Read some flowers?
How do you read flowers?
Cast some flowers? We'll get into
Tea
it.
leaves?
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Oh, just throw a flower reading in.
Yeah. Have you?
No.
Oh, well, let's get into it. Well, not now. I've got a few things to say first.
Jeez.
Oh.
Check that out.
Oh, wow.
So we're a little bit out of.
No one
sync
can
here,
see
but
that.
that's okay. Everyone can see this. Can you see? You can.
Maybe the bottom half. And I'm
Oh,
putting the fun
'cause
border
it's-
that we have there. What do you think
Okay,
you're pointing at?
I
We haven't-
couldn't see
we-
that. You
as
couldn't
y'all
see
know-
it from the camera.
No.
Okay.
We've got a board of things that we want to
That's
talk
right.
about
We'll
on the
make
witching
that-
hour.
We'll make that pop up.
Oh, you think you can just do that?
Yeah.
Really?
Just
You
happened.
think you can just... I don't know if it happened or not.
It did.
I think I might make it happen now. I don't know. Do you see it? I don't know.
We did witches. We did books. Books went in with something else. I feel.
I don't know.
Something
Oh, we know
like
we did
books.
books. We did books.
Yeah, but
and
we did something else before.
and what kind of
books.
witch you are. Which
That's
is
right,
which.
Which is which.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do tarot
An oracle.
and oracle.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So we've just discovered that we've both brought in three
Yeah.
different decks.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly, we have got them for similar reasons, I feel.
Yeah, it all kind of lined up,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
So, going to start with my very first, unless you want to start with your very first.
You can
deck.
start with your very first.
Okay.
And then I'll start with my very first,
Okay.
Humble Beginnings.
Okay. This, the Wake Tarot card deck is probably the most known, widely used
To this day.
to this day. Like,
To many days ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
This was my very first deck when I was about 13.
You kept it well.
It's sellotaped up. Oh,
Yeah.
you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm being real.
Super.
No, it's like
Sellotape
it's
together.
like that's a cool thing to have.
I think a lot of people would probably have this deck.
Yeah.
So the thing with tarot, they hold a huge amount of energy, and especially if you're reading for other people.
Yeah, it's very potent.
Yes. This particular deck, like I say, I started reading when I was about 13, and there are many, many, many people that I have done readings for from this deck.
Mm-hmm.
So it was mainly through my teenage years, and I didn't like school, and I would just read and encourage other people to leave their class and come down and get a reading
Perfect.
behind the gym,
Perfect.
as you do.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps them, really, really helped them, and especially through teenage, when we're all going through stuff in teenage years, a lot of heavy
Teenage
stuff was going
confusion,
down.
teenage
Yep.
life stuff. Yeah.
I think the other super cool thing that holds huge emotion and memory in here is that I remember the readings that I did for a lot of those girls.
Yeah.
And
You know some of them still
the
as
other
well. So
cool thing is that we're still actually friends today.
friends who
So-
tarot together, stay together.
Stay together. Stay taroting together, because I've now in their late 40s, we're all coming up.
Oh, they come into the store,
century,
man. Yeah.
And I'm reading for them now. So I've been, read for them as a teenager and
Yeah.
then see how their life changes. But I stopped reading these cards. So I had a lot of traumatic situation,
Yeah.
trauma in my late teens. And that was the last time
Wow.
I read these cards.
Yeah.
And then put them away.
Yep.
Don't even know why. Didn't even realize that until I found them again.
Often you're just sort of on autopilot with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, like it just kind of happens.
And
You're not that conscious of it.
they just hold so much from that time.
Yeah.
And it was such a good time as far as me coming out as a witch.
Yep.
And doing my readings and everyone knowing me as witch and all the rest of it. I feel like this is my childhood deck. And I can't open it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Part of that would be that the energy that is in this deck,
I want to keep there.
you want to keep it there, and the order in which the cards are in right now was the last order that they were in from the last shuffle you did.
Yep, which was very important, and I don't I want to.
Of course you do,
I
because
want
they're
to get
pretty
in there,
cool, man.
And I may
Yeah.
have actually drawn my own weird little stuff on there, and
I don't know.
messages. And
Yeah. Notes. Heaps of people write notes.
Yep, all sorts of things.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I feel like it was from a time that needs to stay in that.
Well, it's a time capsule
Yeah.
right there.
And also with any tarot or oracle card readings, anything you're doing, after each reading, it's very, very important to clear the energy out
Yeah.
of that reading. You can't do a reading for someone
And then just
and then just put it back in the deck and then go do another one for someone else. So they've always got to be either lightly steamed or
steamed
with water. You can
over some tea
just lightly steam.
over the pot.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Not too close, because you don't want to get them
Wet.
wet.
Okay.
So you can clean them with the water, or
Incense?
you can, most commonly is what I use as incense.
Yeah.
Mugwort, if it's a big reading and you just want to
Sage.
get it right out. Sage.
Okay.
Usually I do a combination of incense and sage. But I don't want to lose and clear these out. But then the other side of me is going, maybe you should set that all free.
Well, I think, to be honest,
So if anyone else has this problem
Yeah.
with a deck that they've had for a long, 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 long time,
Yeah.
hit
So
me up. Hit me up.
I, on a personal note, feel as if you've been letting a lot go and be free as it is at the moment,
Yes.
and maybe you're just in the like momentum of that.
Yes.
I think for something like this,
it stays.
just for now,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
because you want to, like, if you were to do something like that, which means a lot to you, you want to be in your highest power.
Yep.
You want to give it your full attention and to fully notice what that is.
Exactly.
So maybe it's
Or
tickling on your mind
comes
that
out
exactly
from this.
it's there, it's in the back, and you've kind of recognized that you may want to do that, which is completely different from what you have been doing for the past decades or whatever, which
Exactly.
is not thinking about it at all
Yeah.
or putting it away or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's been tucked away.
And so you're only just coming into realizing that you might want to do that. Let that simmer for a little bit longer.
And the other thing with the tarot card, when we get into card spreads and things, but the tarot, you have your major arcana and your minor arcana. So your major are all your trump cards, your magician, your fool, empress, everyone. They are for your, when they come up in the reading, they are for your highest good. They're like the divine message.
Mm-hmm.
And then your pip cards, or like your suits and your numbers, are all separate to that, right? And they are like an accessory to the big dudes, the big trumps, but they're more on like practical matters of daily stuff and whatever, and they relate to the trump cards. But I just feel the trump cards in here, I can feel them, are just holding a huge amount of energy
Yeah.
and something to say.
Yep.
So
Let
there will
it-
come a time.
Mm.
There will come a time.
They're starting to chat away and you're going, all right,
Yep.
yep, cool. It'll
And they
happen.
pop back up for a reason, don't they?
every single time. Same with
This has been a
stones, same with oracle, same with
time.
tarot, same with anything that's got that kind of like energy imbued in it. That's
Yes.
kind of, or the potential for communication,
Yes.
like tarot and oracle does.
And even since getting the decks that I now use constantly,
Yeah.
I haven't gone, oh, why am I using those? I've already got a deck.
No, I mean, I've got 3 decks sitting next to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this little guy can wait.
Can wait. Rider Waite can wait.
It's the wait tarot card deck.
Yeah.
You get it?
I know, I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, they do hold a huge amount of energy, and the difference with tarot cards to oracle cards, which are probably more commonly used, or another word probably, oracle cards will give you amazing guidance and sort of put you on your path, and they're just a little bit softer. When you're reading tarot, this is like a kick up the ass.
It doesn't hide away.
No, this is these, I call them the truth tellers.
Yeah.
So when you are reading for other people with tarot, especially, you have to be very, very careful with your knowledge, how long you've been practicing, how much you know about the cards, your interpretation of the cards, because if you're just new to it and you're doing a reading for someone else, it can be so easily misinterpreted, and then that cannot be a good thing to do with a reading. So when you're starting out with tarot, you can just start maybe with one card, just start doing a yes or no, and start to really get to know all the cards.
What does that mean?
Or like if you just have a question, like something that's on your mind.
Oh, reading one card from the
just
deck. Okay.
pull a card, start getting familiar
Yeah.
with the cards and how they all sit together. I've got a really good book to recommend for your layouts. And then I still do this now. I don't usually go to any more than a 5-card spread. but just start with 3 cards, and you can easily do past, present, future,
Yep.
and that's just a really good way to start getting into it. And also just the way which we'll go over, I don't know how you probably shuffle and do the deck and layouts.
Probably differently.
Quite differently. But you always need to clear the cards, as we've just said. I typically hold them to my heart, and then I clear them with incense, sage, mugwort, whatever I'm doing. Then I shuffle. Then I thank the cards for the messages that are going to be coming in. Then I don't, with Oracle, I don't split the deck, but I do with Tarot.
I almost don't know what you mean.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm trying to stay with you here. I'm trying to.
So you've
wait.
cleared the deck.
I gotta. There's a few different ideas that are coming through at the moment and explanations. I don't know about you guys. I'm trying to.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't have enough coffee today.
So
but
with the Tarot.
So hold on, wait. We're already jumping into the realm of explaining the difference between Tarot and
Okay.
Oracle.
Okay, so
Maybe
Tarot
there's
cut the deck.
why? What?
So
But
once,
hold on, we're going back even more.
Okay.
So, and then the other thing that I wanted to point out was we have a whole range of audience members in terms of
Yes.
their level at which they are familiar with Tarot
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm getting
Oracle.
to.
Yes. But I feel like we totally
Oh, went to the high end.
went way
Oh,
over
we
the...
can go there, and then we can come back to the.
Okay,
easy.
stick around.
Yeah.
We'll explain what
So-
tarot cards are in a moment.
So
At some point.
let's just jump straight in.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
One more time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just one time.
Yeah.
Tarot cards.
Yes.
It's a deck of cards,
Yes.
similar to a playing set of cards,
Yes.
except
With
they
trump
have
cards.
with
Yeah.
trump cards, some
Yep.
extra cards, as well as what you would otherwise imagine as like a 9 of spades. There's like a 9 of swords,
Yes.
for example.
Yes.
You
you've
know,
got your cups
there's a
and
whole
swords
yes, and each card
wands and, yeah.
brings a message,
Yes.
and we shuffle these cards
Yes.
with an intention in our minds, or a person in our minds, or for somebody else who has a question or an
That's what
intention.
I was getting to.
Yeah. And
Once you've thanked the cards,
yeah,
then you say who the reading is for,
yes.
and then you ask the question.
So I just wanted to make sure we were going to get there.
Yes, we're going to get there.
Because I also want to explain that is something that people do
Yeah.
as a way of communicating with their spirit guides.
Yes.
So the cards themselves are a vessel
Yes.
for communication,
Yes.
and you can be a vessel through the cards for somebody else, or for yourself,
Or for me.
or for your mum. And here we are. I just wanted to get that out. I just wanted to get that, like,
Is it one of those where I know what's going on?
maybe,
So-
I don't know, maybe I read it wrong, but I just wanted to, maybe in case there was someone that was
Okay.
like, all right, I'm shuffling something and I'm splitting it, and not if it's an oracle, and yes if it's a tarot, and
Okay.
are those the same word?
All right.
I just wanted to get that out
78 cards.
as we were.
Righty ho.
Onward.
So once I've thanked them and said the question or what it is that the person's wanting to know,
Yeah.
then I split them and then put them back together.
You cut the deck in half
Yes.
and you
yes.
switcheroo.
Correct.
Okay. And you only do that with
Only with the
tarot
Tarot.
cards. Okay.
and then I will lay out 1, 2, 3,
Just from the top.
just straight off the top.
Man, we're different.
No, but I'm different with Oracle.
I'm different. Oh yeah, I don't do that with tarot.
Okay.
All right.
And then that's just that. Well, that's where I was doing the simplest form, because you can do just one, a yes or no answer,
Yeah.
or you can start with a 3, which
Yeah.
is your past, present, future.
So the past, a card that's about,
Would be about representing your past,
and that's useful for understanding an element of your past.
an element of your past. Yes.
Yep.
Then the present is your present situation,
Mm-hmm.
and then your future is what is going to come from your present situation. And then if you're doing a 4 or a 5, you're going into past, present, and then more into your desired outcome and then possible outcomes.
Right.
So each layout can get more and more and more informed the more you go into it.
Yeah.
So you can end up with like a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Something I've
Yeah.
pulled off before.
You've done
That's
you can do the
no.
the
Free
horseshoe.
form. Free flow.
Free flow.
Yeah.
Free flow is also good.
Yeah.
So with me going about that, that's how what I stick to with my tarot. I'm still actually probably very traditional
Yeah.
with anything to do with tarot.
Yeah. Well, you learnt traditionally, and
Yes.
that was kind of, and you read from the book.
Yes.
That
Exactly.
did that come with? It came with like a explanation.
Oh yes, this has its own little.
Yeah. So exactly. So that would have been one of your
with it.
first.
But so does my second one that I use
Yeah.
now.
But
Yeah.
even for the fact that, like, back in those days,
Yes.
you had that deck,
Yep.
and
And
that deck
that
came with a
was-
book.
Yep.
That's what you're going to be
That's
doing.
what you do. Yep.
And maybe you went off a little bit, or maybe not. But like,
You interpret.
yeah,
Intuition.
But that's all the information
Yeah.
you had. You didn't jump on TikTok. That wasn't,
No.
Sorry to bring that up.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to learn traditional tarot, there is a huge amount to learn. And it's kind of baby steps, and it can take a long time.
Yeah.
Which is why Oracle are great, because it gets you into the
That's how I started.
way of reading. So that's probably why I've gone here, and then this is where I end up.
No, I know.
This is my most used one, and it's an Oracle.
I just wanted someone out there to know why tarot exists, or what it is, or
Okay.
yeah.
It was actually part of an Italian card game.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
The origin
oh,
for all the suits. And then the trump cards were actually from, I think it was an Egyptian lady who actually wrote an entire book and drew all the first symbols
Oh, wow.
to tell a story.
yeah.
And then that was the major trump cards, and then all the what's known as the pip cards came later, based off an Italian
The
card
minor
game.
arcana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from an Italian card game. And then
Like
they
the
got
cards we know, like
together.
the like
well, that's how
the
you got your suits. You got your king,
right. Okay.
your king, your
Yeah.
queen, your
Jack,
page,
whatever.
your,
Yeah.
your ace.
Yeah.
All in there
Yeah.
with the trumps. There you go. Is a bit of explanation for you.
Thank you for that.
You can read however you feel comfortable
Yeah.
and how much you want to know.
Yep.
So there's always a guide with the tarot card decks, and you can just read straight from the book depending on which layout you've done. So if you want to do a 5 card or more, it literally will lay them all out, and then you can go through the book and it will explain to you what they are. Like I say, that's something you would do more for yourself whilst you're honing your skill and listening to your intuition and getting to learn the cards, because you don't want to just lay it out and then just read from the book and tell someone, because it might be, completely different.
Yep.
The other thing for anyone that is familiar with using the tarot, there is always a controversy of sorts about the reverse cards. So whenever a reverse card...
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to explain. A reverse card
Oh my gosh.
is when you are shuffling the deck or cutting your deck. You've done your card layout and one of them turns out upside down. That is a card reversed. In the trump cards, a lot of people seem to think that means the meaning is weaker
Okay.
or not as valid. And my personal opinion, and there are other people with the same opinion, I find it is actually more of a deeper underlying meaning. Some people think when the card's reversed, it's like the shadow side.
Right.
But for me, I find it's more the go deeper. There's more to know about that particular
It's sort of
card.
sitting.
Yeah, there's something underlying that you're missing, and a lot of readers will actually just flip the card straight back up and read it upright. But
Right.
I keep them, to me, that's how they've fallen.
Okay.
They should, if they're reversed, they should stay reversed.
So, to me, does that sound like when you're clearing a deck to first use it, or when you're reusing your usual deck or whatever it is, you're supposed to straighten all your cards so they all face
No,
upwards?
I don't.
You don't? Nor do I.
No.
Okay.
No. The cards fall as they may.
Yes.
So once they're out and they're reversed for a reason.
And then you've got a regular card which you turn over like this. You've got a card that you turn over and it's upside down. And then you've also got jump cards.
All in jump cards. Always take the jump cards.
Take a jump card.
Yep.
What's a jump card?
So if you're shuffling or even cutting the deck, and one literally just falls out.
Or like pings out or something.
Pings out,
There's like certain like
sometimes it'll just go bing.
oh
That's your card. They're the exciting ones.
yeah.
So that's literally a message that needs to come through to you quite clearly and to take very seriously. And that's always the one that I just put to the side for later.
That's a little extra special one. That's a
I
little
know.
dessert right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So I'm like,
You got
then
your main course.
I'll do the reading.
Yeah.
Well, let's just see what little jumpy
Little jumpy.
comes out at.
Little 3-course meal.
Yep,
Little extra dessert.
yep. Little palate cleanser.
Yum.
Often not palate
After
cleanser.
dinner. Mint.
Yeah. Well,
No.
Yeah.
Blech.
Usually it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes.
So, yeah, the book I recommend. There is a book in the cards if you do have these traditional weight
Little booklet,
cards.
little leaflet thing.
But this book here, How to Read Tarot, I don't even know who it's by. Where's the author? How odd.
We'll put it up here.
We'll put it up when
Do you
I
want to click
find
that
it.
into existence? Or should I?
Oh yeah, you click it.
I can do it.
I'll click
Ready?
it away. Yes.
It's fine.
This is fantastic. Very, very easy to read, easy to follow. Your layouts, meanings of everyone that's in the deck. And if you are studying tarot, because it is a study, that's your go-to. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that's just a little bit on my first tarot.
Well, I've also got my first,
Off you go.
what is it? Not tarot.
Oracle.
Oracle. And if anybody has been watching any of the other episodes, we all know well by now that I read through animals and animal
yes.
spirits. And that's the thing. That's how I've always communicated spiritually and all of that. Animal guides, spirit animal, power animal, whatever you want to call it, all sorts of things.
You're the shaman of the forest.
Yeah, or and the whole story with the wasp and all of that. And you actually got me this
Yes.
in light of understanding that I was communicating through animal spirits and stuff. And Stephen D. Farmer,
How old were you?
16. Yeah, for the wasp. I don't know how long you got.
Wouldn't have been long.
Wouldn't have been too long. I had the noodle dream,
I was like, ooh,
the Kung Fu Panda noodle
you
dream.
had the noodle ring.
Stephen D. Farmer is the author of these cards, also the author of the book, the Animal Spirit Guide book that we keep around the store. It's
Yeah, it's
probably
down
just
there.
under that pile of books right there.
That no one can see. Yep.
No, that's fine. I could put it up. Oh, you could put it up. Oh, righty. Cool. So that is a wonderful guide and like fantastic like introduction to animals and animal spirits. But the Oracle deck, and as you were explaining a second ago, the Oracle is a little more like chill,
Yep.
a little more like
But kinda.
easygoing.
Yeah.
It'll nudge you. It'll give you a direction. It'll tell you what's what.
Yep.
but it won't like bowl you over, and it won't, you know, it's not really gonna get in your
Push
face
you off
about
the
it.
fence.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's quite a like nice experience. A little more approachable to begin with. There's a little less like lore and history. Well, history is probably the wrong way to describe that, but like there's a little like less. The barrier to entry is lower,
Yes.
which is fantastic because it means that you can kind of just get into doing it, and it works really well. So these cards, first ever cards I'd ever had, and I began obviously reading for myself, and either I didn't read the booklet to begin with, the part where it explained how to do it, or I did and I didn't remember or like vibe with it or whatever. But I've always just been able to pick up this deck, shuffle it, and feel out a card that I need. So like you were saying with tarot, for example, like you shuffle it and then you cut it and then you take whatever the top ones are. That, to me, I don't even do that with my tarot. Like I'll shuffle the deck, and as I'm shuffling, I feel what card is like
Coming through.
like hot, you
That's
know?
what I do on my second tarot.
Yeah. It just,
Not original.
you just kind of like, you're like, oh, whoa. And then as I'm shuffling and like tuning into the energy of it, or whatever I'm wanting to find out, or whatever I'm just open to, whatever's like going on, I'm shuffling. And then there's just a whole chunk of the deck, which I can be like, okay, it's not in there.
Yeah. Yep.
So I put that to the side and my pile gets smaller. Shuffling. Oop, nope, it's not those ones. Cool. And there's just a few left. And then amongst those few, I can go, it's this
That's
one.
that one.
And I can
Yep.
feel it
Yep.
before I turn it over, and I put it aside, and I make sure that the other ones
But
weren't
typically
also...
you're just doing a one card.
Depends.
Okay.
But more often, yeah, just one card. So, or if, for example, there's like a jump card that like pops out and I still feel like there's one over here, so I got to do that.
Yeah.
Or if there's very obviously two, I got to do that.
Yeah.
And that you can be a little more like free flowing with Oracle. And then, yeah, there is a booklet that describes the meaning more deeply, and then I apply that. So like it's a pretty like simple process. And then more recently, like sort of 2020, 2021, which is a mouthful. 2020, 2021. You can even say 2020, 2021, 2022.
Or just call it bleh.
It's been it's been
Keep it positive.
it's been
Yeah.
so yeah, I did this reading. I did this one reading. I just set aside an entire day, not to do a reading, but just to check in with myself. And I ended up with my A3 sketch pad, just like a blank sheet of paper and a couple pens. And I really wanted to tune into what was like going on with me at that time. And because I kind of got to check in with myself, and I do that in quite a like physical way. I'm like, I got to write it down. I got to see it. I got to just, have like some kind of expression. And so I just started writing and like drawing and like these like, stages of things that were just coming through, like things I was worried about, things I was excited about, people, family, friends, just like situations.
Physical, like the
I was writing it
person.
down, and maybe there was a little like swirly or a little symbol or something that went with it. Just these little like, just anything that I was, that was like a prevailing thought or something that was just sort of coming to me at the time that I wanted to get out and see and understand why those were the most important things to me at that time, for better or worse, whatever it was. So I did all that, and then I was looking at it going like, whoa, there's like a few different things here that I'm like thinking about, and these are the things that are on my mind right now, and are present in my life. And I was also with my like Oracle deck, this exact one, and I was like, oh, maybe I should do a reading, and maybe now that I can see what it is that I'm going through or experiencing, I can do a reading and understand them. And as I was shuffling the deck, I was like compelled to, you know, maybe just focus on one of those aspects, because the way that it was laid out across the page was like these little pockets, like little, you know, this piece, this piece, this piece, this person, that
areas.
situation, that thing. And so I was like, oh, okay. Started shuffling, and I would like kind of focus on one of those pockets of my life, one of those things, and I would draw a card for that thing, and I place the card on that area of the sketch of the page there, and then I'd go to the next one and I'd do that for that, and I'd keep them all face down to begin with, and by the time I'd finished it, there was like maybe 8 or 9 different cards on this page. So I put the deck down and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I went through one by one. And where it was concerning this person, I flipped the card and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Read a little bit into it, wrote some stuff down on the page next to it and kind of created that. Wrote down which animal was related to that person or situation. And I went through all of this, and it took a while. It was quite an extensive thing. And then by the end of it, I took some photos and I saw the whole thing, and it just felt like I'd untied a few knots and just kind of been like, okay,
Put the whole puzzle.
Here's what's going on. Here's the landscape, and here's what is coming up about it. And it really helped,
Awesome.
which is cool. And then I did that for a couple other people too. So just
So you end up with like
friends in my life and that sort of thing.
Almost like a drawing, or it's
Yeah.
like a reading
Words, drawing,
with
yeah,
symbols, drawings,
yeah,
and the animals and the
yeah. And so it just kind of, it felt like similar to like the past, present, future. It's like this, that, or whatever happens to come up. It doesn't have to be 9 things.
Did you
but
find for other people and yourself, it might have been almost easier to look back on and read than actually writing down the reading off a card?
I think so.
So they can
Yeah.
like look, oh, that symbol meant, so because it's a lot more visual
Very, yeah.
than just writing
Yeah.
the meaning that is coming up for people, or just recording and telling them.
Yeah.
It's like something they can keep and just remember that.
Well, they had this
particular-
page. Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked. It worked well.
The picture.
Yeah. Like it was quite an intimate session, like to do with somebody else.
Yeah.
As reading cards for anyone is.
Yeah.
This was very like, you know, there was a period of time at the beginning where they were just drawing or writing their page
Yeah.
and the things that were coming through, and then we would read for each of those, and then we'd interpret those
Yeah.
cards, and it's quite a process. But then by the end of it, you have this thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, whoa,
You
like,
can keep and you can reflect
Yeah.
back on, and
and there's a date on it, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
that's very cool.
yeah.
And do you still do that now?
No, because I have.
A job?
I had a job then too. In fact, I had the same job then as I do now.
I mean, you know, time consuming, and
Oh, you know, yeah, no. It's like a good hour or two.
but you still do it for friends.
Not so
if
much.
the need comes up.
I haven't been doing it so much. I have a new thing that I'm doing now, but
What's the new thing?
I'll explain it when I'm going to pass it back to you.
Oh shit!
Keep you on your toes,
We
mate.
want to know the new thing.
No, I know. Just you wait.
Bloody hell!
But yeah, that's kind of what I do. That's what Oracle is about for me.
yeah,
It's very free flowing. It's very easy. It's very like you can get quite a bit done. It's very versatile,
Yeah.
and you can do what you want with it.
Yep.
And yeah, well, I have so far, and it's been a really useful tool. Or if I just feel like I want some guidance, I'll draw
and
a
you
card.
don't really.
That's it.
You feel that's still your go-to deck. You don't. You know, you've got your other couple there, but you don't tend to just go looking for other oracle cards. It's kind of like you found your guys. That's
I've got a couple.
yeah.
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 Maybe in the future another one will pop up, but
Because that's a big thing when you are looking for, like, if someone, questions, well, how do you know which oracle card to get, which deck to get? There are so many out there.
so many good ones.
Really good ones.
Tempting.
I always look at one who they're by, maybe look up who's designed them and
What their story is.
what they're about. But it's definitely connection with yourself. So it's almost like reading the cards.
You got to read
It's
the
almost
deck.
It's like if you've got 10 different ones in front of you, there's going to be one that's just like jumping out at you that's going to be the one that resonates. And then you really, once you've found your team, you don't tend to go looking for any more, I find.
I haven't.
No.
I did now that I've kind of arrived where I've arrived.
Yeah, I wouldn't have like a collection. Some people
As much as I would want to.
Yeah, because there's some beautiful
Yeah.
cards.
I simply couldn't hold that much
No.
potential in my bedroom. That's just like having 20 decks in there. I'm just like, whoa. I even collecting these and bringing them in today, having the 3 of them in the same
I
place.
was like, yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, because they all live in
Different parts of whatever. Yeah, I don't keep all my oracle cards in one spot. Tarot cards in one spot.
Same. Oh, let us
Decks.
know
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
that's doing that as well.
Y'all got a bookshelf of
Yeah, I have a
spot for that, a
all
spot for
these
that.
guys
That's
live
over there. That's
somewhere
over there.
completely differently to each other.
Otherwise, I don't know.
And after every reading, they go back home.
Mhm.
So they don't just, I've done the reading on my, my table, my ritual table.
You
It's like,
never don't know where they are.
great, they're going
Yeah.
back to, their original home. Well, I'm going to, just to be confusing as I tend to be,
Go for
I'm
it.
going to jump to this one.
What's that one?
This was my second deck I ever got.
Oracle.
But these are Oracle.
Hmm.
And this one's these are my absolute go-to. These are what I do readings for myself and for other people
We've done a reading from that.
with. Yep, I love them. The thing is, again, very controversial, but Doreen Virtue, who originally made these cards, and a lot of people have a version of these cards, just changed the whole tune. Doesn't believe in them anymore, doesn't believe in... Just, I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. Go look it up.
Wow. Okay.
But did a full...
Just had the opposite of an awakening.
She literally did, but then went into another whole awakening.
Okay. All right.
But I'm not leaving these cards.
You don't have to.
So a lot of people,
when
that happened,
fine.
they were like, oh, fine, Doreen, and then, stopped using
Yeah.
the cards.
Which you can understand, because if that's an energy that
yes.
they felt, and they felt through
Correct.
the cards, and they felt
Yep.
that they were combined and connected, great.
Yep.
But if you've got your personal relationship with
I already have
that specific deck,
my personal
regardless
relationship.
of anything, then
Exactly.
that's okay. Yeah.
That's how it goes. So these ones, there she is. Hello. This is the guidebook. So again, really good. This is a lot easier to learn
Yeah.
than the weight cards, but and these, it's interesting. I go through the little notes, little stars, because when you are doing readings, you often come up with the same cards, which means
Yes.
you're
I
not
just got the same cards
listening.
yesterday. I've had the same card actually for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means come on, let's move past that one.
Yeah.
But with these, similar to what Mitchell said, so first of all, every single reading, clear them. Then I will, can I put that there and I can,
No, I can hold it
Listen.
for you. There we go.
I just want to do a little shuffle, just move my little cup of fruit juice. These ones, you definitely do the shuffle. You may get a jumper. I always hope for a jumper, to be honest, but you just never know. So these ones, I actually clear them once I've thanked them and I'm asking my question. I will then spread them and hold them over incense, and then also sage up and around them. And often I'll ask the question that's either for myself or for someone else whilst I'm clearing out the cards, and then weirdly put them back together and then spread them out again.
As you would.
So when we're saying just to do a spread like Mitchell was explaining,
We can even see that. That's great.
yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I think I've mentioned this before, but
Now that you put them down, you can take that back if you want it. There we go.
feel like
No, you
it's,
can hold it too.
no, because I need two hands.
Oh, you need two hands. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
It's almost like playing the piano. You sort of just have your hands on whichever cards are sort of there, and the same thing. So I will close my eyes. I will channel what it is I'm needing. Again, instantly it feels very cold or not necessary in one whole section. Like
I get
you were
that
saying.
too. Yeah. And that can go. You don't need
No,
it. you
I
know?
leave them. I don't put them.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't.
I just take it out because
I
I'm
feel
like,
less sorry for them.
oh, I'm sorry. No, they can get it on the next one.
So I leave them in there, but I don't.
That's okay.
I ignore them, but
Yeah.
they're still there. And then, yeah, similar thing with you. I'll find that my fingers will literally start just heating up, and there's just no question. So it's suddenly just a whoop, it's that one. There's no second guessing. You just know
Yeah.
that's the one. You'll go back.
Energy creates heat,
through.
eh?
Energy does create heat.
Yeah.
And then
Funny
you
that.
get your second one, bam, and then I'll go for a third.
Oh.
And that's usually my. Ooh, and it's the same. They all look the same.
It's kind of the point.
Not. And then that'll be my first 3-card layout.
And is that for a past, present, future, or are you just reading 3 cards?
That is for a past, present, future. So that's like something that I need to let go of. Thanks, Mitchell.
I need to let go of that.
Shooting. Yep.
Oh.
That's your first card is going to be, sort of where you've been, what you need to kind of let go of. This is your where you're at now, what you need to do now, and then you're going into your outcome
What's coming up?
or your suggestion for what action needs to be taken from there.
Perspective, even.
Yeah, exactly. And then more often than not, there's always another card that has jumped or I just feel needs to be put further ahead. And that's kind of like the conclusion card, I call it, for, whatever it needs to be. But I will then write and write and write. So there's...
Save those for later, huh?
Yeah, there's little obviously meanings in the oracle card, but they're very, very short.
It's up for interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will just immediately get exactly what I need from the card for the person and just start writing. So sometimes that can be an entire page just based on one card.
Yeah.
And that's how you actually end up with your reading. But these, like I say, are the only ones I would use for someone else.
These days,
and
yep.
myself.
Yeah.
I've been using these for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And they are very comforting. So the other thing with tarot and oracle, if you're doing it obviously with the right intentions, and you kind of know a bit about what it's about, they can be so comforting for people that are really going through a tough time. So I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
And I will read for someone if I feel they need it.
You've been known to message someone and be like, I'm going to do a reading for you.
Exactly.
It's usually the other way around. But you'll be like,
Well,
hey,
people
I'm
will
coming
ask me and
around
I'll
with
just go, no,
my...
because
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
So no, I can't just do a reading,
Right.
but I will get such and such needs
A reading
a
now.
reading, and then I either always ask. I will never just
Read.
send it to someone.
Oh.
But yeah, they're always like, yes, please. And then that's when I'll do it, and it just goes done.
Yep.
And then they could have their friend sitting next to them, and they go, "Oh, can you do mine?" And I'll be like, "I literally can't."
Yeah. And that's not because you don't know them.
No.
Because I've read for people that I don't know very well at all.
Yeah.
Works fine. Just if
It's-
that's what that's what it is, you know?
That's what it is.
Yeah, it either is or it isn't. In that moment, it might be the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But that's just how I
Yeah.
work it. The other thing is how often you should be reading. So they can get quite addictive, and some people will start, using them for like every every day. Which
Yeah.
you
every decision that needs to be
can
made
do.
ever. Yeah.
But then you're basically
Should I do the
not-
dishes now? Should I do them tomorrow?
Should I just not do them?
Should I not do them? Let's find out.
Don't do them.
Oh, no, I'm going to do
Oh
them.
yeah, same.
Okay.
But you don't want to get
I
that
gotta do 'em.
reliant, because then you're actually taking away your own power
Yeah.
within yourself. So
It's a check-in.
it's a check-in if you feel you're going through a bit.
You need to check in.
Yep. Full moon, new moon,
Yeah.
full moon mainly for me. But it's definitely no rules at all about how many cards you're reading, the layouts that you're reading, and what's coming through when you're doing it.
Yeah.
They're very free flow, as you say.
As I say.
Close to the mic. So that's this basically replaced my little guys over there that don't get opened anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, brilliant. These are brilliant. Yeah, love them. So what's your
Well-
good one there? Oh, I got you.
Shamanic healing. Shamanic? I don't know. Also oracle cards. And you got these for me
Yes.
recently,
Yes. Ish.
a couple of years ago,
Yep.
because you did so well the first time.
Yeah.
Nailed
I
it.
thought, oh, what's the next present?
Nailed it. Animal
Well,
oracle
no,
cards,
I
fantastic.
actually feel it's because you had evolved so much,
Yeah.
and I got these after you got back from Europe, and
Yep.
you'd had such a huge spiritual journey
Yeah.
that I thought your original animal
Needed a
oracle,
bit of a.
I thought you might have gone more into the shamanic.
Turns out I moved
You
up,
didn't.
not across. Yeah. I just wanted to bring these along because I've had these for a couple of years, and I have tried to read from them. I've tried.
No bueno.
Didn't work. It happens.
Yep.
And there may be an idea or an ideology or a perception that, yes, this could or should be the right deck for me. Sometimes it's not. And it's really obvious when it's not. Like, it'll either just feel like a flop. Like, you'll try, you're like, oh, it's going to be this, it's
Trying to
this
get it
card,
to
it's that card, it's
work,
whatever.
and
Like,
yeah.
and it just,
Can't force it.
you cannot.
No.
Absolutely not. So, yeah, I've tried a few times with this, and I keep it around because,
Yeah, why have you what are you going to do with it?
well, like, I feel like it's something that's,
A regift?
I don't know about that. I almost did that one time because someone came around and read from this, and it worked.
Or what if someone came around and they just loved it?
If they loved it, then absolutely.
Yeah.
But they read from it. It was a nice reading, and they left it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, all right,
Coffee
that's
table cards.
coffee table cards. No, I've just got them. I've got them, and it'll either be very obvious as to who needs them, or I'll go across one day.
Yes.
I'll go sideways.
Yes. Maybe. What's the sideways?
Well, from animal to like shamanic symbols.
What's that sound?
Sideways. Like, how, like, if I was in my lane of animal spirits,
Oh, right.
if I
Yes,
was to
okay.
change lanes
Yep.
and go along the shamanic highway, take a left.
You might just take a little turn instead of changing lanes completely. You
Well,
might just,
yeah. No, that's what I mean.
And then come back
And then come back in.
on.
That's what I
Yeah.
tried. It just didn't.
Yeah.
as didn't need to be in that lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I'd bring these along because I thought that was kind of important. It was like, okay, you know,
Because you might get a deck, you think, oh, this is pretty, this is beautiful.
that's the other thing. Yeah, you
got
don't
your
necessarily need to be, because these are beautiful cards.
Mm-hmm.
They got I'm going to do the thing where I put the mic down. You can talk.
I can hold it.
Yeah, I got longer arms over here. It's not, okay, here we go. All right, so,
Oh, they are nice.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
they're really nice.
I can keep holding the mic. if
That's
you
good. Got the gold. I'm not sure if you can see that on the side, as with your oracle. But the cards themselves are very, I don't know, just like the art is real beautiful. You got some like
want. Oh, they are.
a lot of detail in them. A lot of detail. Maybe I'll put a photo up of one of the cards. Yeah, so they were, oh, wow.
Yep.
Man, you just got onto that,
I
eh?
know.
You just,
It
you're just
finally
making that
clicked.
happen.
It
Oh,
finally clicked.
alrighty then. You hold that? Anyway, not much to share about that except for the fact that sometimes
Cards don't.
Sometimes not. And that's all right.
So my last deck, this would be, I would say, my greatest treasure. And it's,
Wow.
yeah, this is kind of, it's a Black Mirror Oracle deck, but is using all the Major Arcana trump cards.
I was wondering why it was so thin.
Yes.
No minor arcana up in here.
No.
Major arcana energy
No.
only.
Yes. The witch that makes these cards,
Do I have to hold your mic again?
no,
Oh.
she is the most talented witch, I feel.
Wow.
that I know, which is a big call.
It's a big
for a
call.
witch.
You know some witches.
I do know some witches, all very talented. But this particular deck, her interpretation and the in-depth interpretation of each of the cards and the hand-drawn drawings
Yeah.
that go with it, plus the energy that has been put into them are just next level. So you have to do the click, Mitchell. Hanged Woman. God, I get that a lot. But just look at this. Look at the beauty. These are all,
Oh, wow.
yeah, all hand drawn. Lord of the Wild. Like, oh, look at this. Look at the Hermit.
I like the colours in that, eh?
Yeah, so the colours, the cups.
Greens, blues, purples.
Ace of Chalice. Look, I mean,
Oh, yeah, righty then.
yeah. These are just, oh,
What's that? Oh, nice.
don't click.
It's already up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Diana. The
Diana,
moon.
the moon.
So yeah, you do, when we're talking about connection to two cards, this is like, I would not go anywhere without taking these.
Right.
And they fill me with a huge emotion when I read them. I only ever use these for my own readings.
Yep.
I feel they're more on the shadow side
Mm-hmm.
of a reading, so I would use these for light,
Your oracle
oracle, angel
angel. Yep.
cards, and then these are definitely for when I'm really needing to be truthful with myself
Yeah.
in a major way. And I have
Major arcana only.
Major arcana way, but I have never ever done a reading with these, and it's not actually brought me to tears, or I've just had goosebumps just everywhere with the accuracy of what
Yeah.
has come through and what she said. And the actual book is, you'll get 2-3 pages
Per card.
per card. And it goes right into the light, the shadow side, what it signifies in a reading, if you're doing, more than just one card. So you've got message, light, shadow, appearing in a reading, just incredible. So Jessica Shaw is her name from Circle of Wolves. Very, very talented. Not sure if she's making this exact deck anymore, but she has, others that she does do. But yeah, that is my... And I almost didn't get it because I knew it was more on the shadow side.
A little bit afraid.
Yeah. And I was like, nope, I'm always in the, in the light, but you can't have the light without the shadow. And best decision I ever made. Yeah. And these ones, so then I do a combination with these ones.
You do
these two.
Two decks.
I read these with these.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And then I also do the preparing, like the shuffling and the choosing of these cards, but then I place them as I would tarot. So
Interesting.
I spread them out, do my piano fingers.
Yeah.
But then once I've got the cards, I will
They're
place them in a formation. And then I do these ones first, and then these
Get into
ones. And then I do a whole... That's my big reading, which really is equivalent to doing a full weight tarot.
Adds up.
So it's balanced, eh?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Oh, it really is. It's very exciting. Very exciting when you get into it. But yeah, and these guys always have to go back in their little pouch.
Yeah,
I never leave them out.
Yeah. Energetically. That's why they got the little box. That's why they got the little spot.
Yeah.
And they're just happy sitting there.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
But like for those that haven't read tarot or oracle before, it's really exciting.
Just get into it.
Just get into it. Now that you know everything you need to know about it.
Or do you? I don't know.
It's really fun. Like it's really like when you're having like a bit of a tough week or day or month or whatever, and you're just conjuring up ways in which you can connect and ground and like reel yourself, there's drinking tea and meditating and stretching and moving and doing this and doing that and even connecting with your crystals and connecting with your loved ones or whatever. This is just another tool.
Yep.
And sometimes hits the exact right spot.
Yep.
Like there are times in which, I immediately go for, seeing a friend or go for like having a night in
You're
and
right.
doing this.
Yep.
Or, taking a moment with a specific crystal or piece of mine. And then there are other times where I'm like, the only thing that I feel like doing right now is
reading.
Yeah. And that's just to have that available is you don't know when you are going to need it. Like it has put me in a more aligned, truthful mindset at times where if I wasn't, things would have gone differently.
Yep.
And the fact that I was able to connect and do this and think this way, or maybe anticipate something, or maybe understand something a little deeper, I was able to navigate it
Instead of going off into
completely
some sort of spiral.
Yeah. So it just kind of, it may bring up things that are difficult, it may bring up things that you don't like, but it does that so that you can,
out.
you can prepare yourself for it, or you can, process it or whatever.
And it's a good night.
It's a good night.
Like I'm sure other witches will be the same, but it's a fun night in.
Something to do, eh? Something to do.
You have your crystals and you got your whole setup.
Little
and
candle.
then you've
What's
got
going
your
on?
cards and you got your music going, and then you're like, right.
All right, here we go.
You get into it. By the time you've actually done the whole, the whole thing, and you've got your messages,
Been a
and
minute.
you've worked it all out, and you're just in a different realm. You're just in a different space, and it's just comforting. It's like you've just been put into this warm bubble, and that's just you for the night. You're free and you just
The next
doing your
morning's
thing.
liberating.
And you sleep,
Yeah.
you really sleep well, and you get some answers that you need. Some that you probably didn't want to, but you got them anyway. But yeah, it is a whole evening, so
Yeah.
very exciting. If I'm like, right, tonight I'm reading, that's it. Watch out, it's great.
Stevie Nicks is
Yep, she's on.
permeating. Yeah.
So you've got a bit. This is your
So yeah.
third one.
So my last one is instead of, so this is the first one that I brought up. This is the Stephen D. Farmer. My little animals,
Yep.
my little animals. And I went from little animals
Baby starter pack.
to big animals.
The Ark. Yes.
The Ark, yes. Bernadette King, and the art by Heidi Sutherland. This is the cards aren't actually the size of this because that would be
wouldn't shuffle
very hard to
this,
shuffle. But it's there's 100 cards in here.
Wow.
So that's one, and it's a mix between tarot and oracle.
Okay.
So there's an entire tarot card deck
How weird is that?
in
So we've
here.
done the same.
We've been doing the same thing. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
You know how it goes. Yeah, entire tarot. And then there's, I think, an extra, I don't know how many's in the tarot deck. That's all right.
78.
78. And then whatever makes up to 100 is oracle cards. But
22.
that's all right.
22.
What?
22.
Okay. 22 cards.
That's how many is
These are my
usually
recent
in
ones.
here.
But I love this thing. There is, it's going to be a little bit confusing, but actually, could you hold this now? Bring it a little closer. So the art is
Wow.
incredibly colorful, bright, realistic. Like there's a lot of different art styles that you can have with tarot, oracle, all of this. This just like jumped out at me.
That is
It was
beautiful.
so cool. And blue snake. Blue snake right there.
What
Wow.
does he do? What does he say?
Wait. Ta-da.
What does he say?
This is the tower. You familiar with the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the interesting thing about the animals and tarot is that the animal
Is representing.
of the card, so that you get a little bit of both. You get the meaning on its own from the original tarot meaning being the tower.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Everything falling down. And
Oh yeah.
around.
Yeah.
But sometimes in a great
Exactly.
way.
Sometimes the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And then it's paired with the meaning historically, culturally, from a few different cultures. Actually, they explain it of the snake.
Wow.
So together,
That's your perfect.
it's a pretty cool
Situation.
interpretation. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
get quite a lot, and then the aspect. What did you say? 22 other cards.
Yeah. Well, that's more your suits.
Well, I mean, no. This is just a pure oracle card. So this is a hippopotamus,
Oh, look at him.
and hippopotamus has its own meaning: stimulation, actualizing goals, and emergence.
He's pretty got some stuff to do. That guy.
Ta-da! Can you click that? Nice. Yeah. So there's these other cards like.
So how do you combine them?
You'll like
into
this
the
tortoise.
reading? Oh, my favorite. Oh,
Yeah.
Home is where the heart is.
Home is where the heart is with the
Aw.
tortoise. So when I first got this deck, I was putting them all together. That was a mistake. Oh, I can't pick this up now. Shuffling 100 cards, partially tarot, partially oracle at the same time was quite a lot.
Did it blow up?
No, but every card was a jump card, and I just couldn't quite contain the energy
Yeah.
of it, and it was just a bit like, ugh. So I've just been doing the tarot side of it, and the oracle I'll get into when I get into, but just kind
And
of
that's a big book explaining
massive book.
it
Yeah,
all as well.
yeah,
That's the other thing. Don't afraid's the wrong word. Don't hesitate to get in and read the guidebooks that go with the cards, because some people feel that they're not doing it right, or they're not good enough if they haven't like memorized every single card in
You don't
every
need to memorize
way
anything.
and everything. Just don't do it. Once you've been doing it enough, you'll recognize the cards and you'll know their meanings, and they often are totally interpreted. The same cards interpreted a completely different way anyway. But use your guidebooks. Just read them over and over and over. That's what they're there for.
This is
Yeah.
like, there's a lot going on in here.
Yeah.
I would truly recommend this deck
Yeah.
because the book explains all, like, in such detail as well, all of the ways in which, like, what major and minor arcana are,
Yeah.
and like what they all do, and then also it's got a whole bunch of layouts that come with it. Same with this.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much going on. This goes into elements.
Yep.
It goes into like different like what the hexagon means versus like what the dodecahedron means versus what the element compared. Like, there's a lot of ways in which you can relate to this deck if you are more of a numbers person or an element person or an animal person
like
or a tarot person.
The cups, for example, are emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
water. That represents
it's all in here.
the emotion.
Yeah. And then,
So-
the feeling of, hippopotamus being related to maybe the water element or something as well.
Yeah.
That's all part of it too.
Yeah.
There's a lot like you can get into with it, and it's just
and then the numbers.
nice
so the
thing,
numbers
yeah.
that come with the tarot make up the 14 cards that are with each of the suits, and the numbers all have significance as well. So when you have a King of Cups, for example, you've got the meaning of the king, you've got the emotion coming from the cups, and then you've got the correlating number, which also has a meaning. So that's why you need your guidebook to put them all together to get your full picture.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you'll start to just instantly know what this number is, or that suit is, or whatever. But that takes some time.
It's a while, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing a reading just when you kind of feel like it, then it's going to take a bit longer. If you're studying it every day or you're reading every day, you're going to get to know them a lot quicker. But again, there's no real rules or time limits or anything like that. Mitchell's just got a mix of the tarot oracle. Yeah. I've got
You're doing the same thing.
a mix of the tarot oracle.
Yeah.
Love my oracle. Treasure my tarot. But yeah, it's just a matter of getting out there and exploring it, and very, very exciting thing to do.
Yeah.
Whew,
That's,
we got through them.
I think, yeah.
Bloody good.
That's tarot and oracle for you. That's what we do. That's how we feel about it.
Yeah.
That's,
Any questions about it?
Yeah.
Let us know, because I know there already were quite a few, people asking about different layouts and spreads for the cards. It is entirely on your situation and your interpretation.
Yep.
And that's why when you find someone, if you are going to for a reading, that you have to trust that person, look them up, make sure it's legit, and you feel good about their energy, because
and
otherwise their interpretation is not going to relate to you.
the feeling, or maybe like a suggestion I would make, if you already have tarot or oracle cards with you, or you own some already, or you have access to some already, or if you don't and you're looking to buy them and you're just kind of wondering like what those steps look like, I would recommend maybe seeing them in person is quite nice, but I wouldn't shy away from buying them online either. Like the Arc, the big one that I got, was from a website. It was whatever. It was like not like Amazon or something like that, but it was one of those.
But you can still pick up the energy.
That's just what happened. I just saw the cards themselves, the photos of the cards on the website, and I was like, those like that strikes a chord with me. And then once you have them and you're wondering what kind of, after everything that you've heard from us, like what kind of, should I do past, present, future? Should I do the drawing thing? Should I do this? Should I read one card? The best thing to do is to start shuffling the cards.
Yeah.
You just start shuffling the cards,
They'll
and then
they'll tell you and help you out.
something will pop up.
Anyway.
If whatever that is, if you flip over 10 cards, like just to start doing it, and you'll start getting some messages, and you'll kind of feel what that is for you, and that's how it that's how it can start.
That's how it goes.
And then you're suddenly reading tarot and oracle, and you're just in that world, which is not as daunting as it
Exactly.
appears. Like even for me, like coming from oracle into tarot, I was a little bit like, oh, I don't even know if I can do tarot. Like, whoa. And then I started shuffling the cards, and I started reading the cards, and then reading the meaning, and that was it.
That's
And
what it is.
That's how it goes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, and then once you get very comfortable with your favorite cards, then you just go to them.
You just go to them.
Yeah, whenever.
Yeah.
I do know a lot of people that keep them in their handbag, and they're never not with them.
Yeah.
I would hate to lose them by doing that. So like I say, I keep them
Mine are at home.
at home. I don't even have them in the store.
Yeah,
Mine just
no,
have,
nor do I.
They're in my witch space at home. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a pack in the store. How old's that? Maybe we need a store pack.
Maybe we need to make a store pack.
Oh, so what's your new thing? Just before we finish up here.
Oh.
And your flowers.
Oh, whoa. Okay. All right. So maybe this is like extra for experts. I don't know how long this has been,
Okay.
but I've got maybe a couple things to say.
Extra for those that are hanging in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're here, not so new, but have you ever considered this?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes. I'm not sure if you
no.
can see that.
No, this needs to be this can be a teaser, because
A teaser for another episode.
next one we're doing is painting.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
But you can explain it,
No, I'll leave it till then.
because that's a big,
I'll leave it till then. There's a lot to say about that, but
bloody good.
I thought of it because
bloody good.
that's very much,
That's a reading.
that's a reading. That's a oracle of some sort or
So you
something.
got to do it then.
Now.
Yeah.
No, we'll get into it.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
There's a bit.
There's a bit to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Okay. Watch the space.
Watch the space. And then maybe the flowers and
Oh no, I need to know about
the stones.
What if
You know about this. You can do it with little
I know
energetic things,
flowers
items and stuff.
little brides, flowers, girls,
Flower girls. No.
flowers, girls.
Flower power. No. This is to do with color and shape and symmetry and asymmetry, similar to divination.
Okay.
So you can do readings through, there's like a language of, like, say for example, like dried flowers or fresh flower, whatever you got, having a collection of them in different colors and different shapes and sizes and that sort of thing, and associating each of those colors and shapes and sizes and objects and whatever it is to something. So, there's a color energy about pink that tends to be about love. There's a color energy about blue that tends to be about communication. There's a
Textures.
there's like a flower that means this. There's a flower that's related to this kind of aspect or whatever, and
So it's like
you toss them.
it's like runes or tea leaves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the way that they fall and the way that one sits on top of the other, or the way that they cross, or one that is far, far away over here and has nothing to do with anything else, you can do a reading kind of based on that.
Wow.
And there's things that you can buy that are very much like that already, or you can just design your own. Like there's all sorts of things you can do.
Very cool.
And same with, like, people collect little objects and trinkets and do the same thing. And that's their deck. That's their, like, way, because all this is a way of communication.
Yeah.
And, they associate those things, and then they can, perform and really, like, understand what's going on.
Read through them.
Yeah.
Schwartz.
But this would be exciting to talk about in a future episode, maybe. Yeah.
There's not just one. These are
There's a few.
blow me away. Phenomenal. I just keep reading them. You see
Zooming
more
in.
and more and more every time.
Yeah.
It's almost crystal ball,
Yeah.
actually.
And as you change, then the way in which you interpret it changes as well. Because the crystal ball is,
Or what you see initially.
I was going to say, it's a crystal ball is also static
Yeah.
in the way that it's like the inclusions that are in it.
Yeah.
It's just the way you
How
look at it
see them
changes.
and what
Yeah.
comes out.
Same with
Yeah.
something like that. And the way it's created is in that same way.
Yeah. Man, a lot comes out of that. All right. Well, so
Right.
next one, a little teacup. We're gonna we'll jump down to painting
Yeah.
and then past life because I really want to get into past life.
Right.
Awesome. All right.
Well,
Well,
I think, yeah.
thanks for sticking with the witching hour and
Hour and a bit, at less than an hour. I can't actually read
We actually
from
don't
here.
know.
I think it's an hour.
we never know.
I don't know.
But anyway, and
The
thank
witching
you
something.
for everyone that has commented or come in the store and
Oh, yeah.
been
Spoken about.
very kind
Yeah.
about our witching hour
Yeah.
banter. I
Yeah.
feel like we did a lot of information.
That was
in this
information.
one.
Yeah.
There's no roller coasters involved.
Rainbow's End didn't get brought up one
No.
time.
No, so I think
Maybe we'll have to make up for all of that in the next one and not actually talk about anything. I don't know how much of this pure information we're
no, we'll do
capable
the
of.
painting. It'll be like, what's his name?
Oh, Bob Ross?
Bob. Can you be Bob Ross?
I don't know. Sometimes.
You can be Bob Ross.
We do a painting pod, not a pod.
Explain your- Okay. Anyway, appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
And
Happy full
until
moon.
The next one. Have a good full moon.
Have a great
Put
full
your
moon.
Wiccan pieces out.
Had a
put your
great full moon. I
crystals
don't know what you've been
out.
doing. Yeah.
Do a reading. Take anything from what we've just kind of gone through.
Yep.
And even when this gets aired tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? Yeah.
Unless you get it out tonight, but that'd
Ooh.
be a miracle. Then just do your cards, have a fun night. It's actually the full moon. I feel is a good self-care night. It's
great.
a good night to just go. You know what?
Chill, man.
Everyone else,
Yeah.
just leave me here. I've got all I need, and
Put on a cup of tea.
put on a cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right. You ready? Nice.
Just what you do.
I don't know.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.